Every covenant passes from generation to generation, but every covenant can be aborted by a generation. The seventh-year covenant comes as an establishment of idol worshiping. Whoever you yielded yourself unto become your master. Imagine our fathers or forefathers yielded themselves into idol worshiping, into sin, doing all manner of things. Because it's a generational thing, passed down. We read Exodus chapter 20 verse 5. He said, I will remember the sin of your third father unto the fourth generation. So it's been passed down. The consequences of defiling or aborting the covenant of God is that God will remember the sin of the past. The main essence why in the time of Israelite they were sinners, so even in the Goshen land they were sinning, but every time God wants to deal with them, he will locate their first father, nothing. Second father, abide with him. Third father, with him. The fourth one, Abraham, with him. Hey, God will be helpless. He cannot strike. If you sin against him, he will trace back. Just in case if your father is a sinner, he will strike you. But if you find your father a righteous one, he will move to the second father, which is your grandfather. If he is still a sinner, he will strike you. But in case he's still a righteous one, he will move again to third generation. This one is not a sinner. He will locate the fourth generation to become a sinner. He will strike you. So many of us have not labored to leave a generation for inheritance. Every little thing, give up. Every little thing, we compromise. Situation of life, some of us give our body. After all, my husband will not find out. After all, my wife will not find out. Men of these days are very common with homosexual. Men of these days are very common with lesbian, and also immorality is at its peak. Is it not? After all, I'm going to solve the problem. Let me just do it. I help the family and pay the house rent. I don't want to be injected. And when you are done, you enter a marine covenant, because even the one that has come came to lure you into a covenant. This kind of covenant does not only established by idol worshiping. I've talked to you last week. What is idol worshiping? Idol worshiping is the process by which you sin consistently against God. You rebel against God, you become an idol worshiper. Every idol worshiper is a sinner. Every sinner is an idol worshiper. It's an account of establishing covenant. So how does this covenant actually work? Now, it passed from generation to generation. Remember, take note of that. It passed from marine covenant. Now, what is the essence of this? Because what the dark people do is what the light do. Everything God does, the devil copies it, and they try to do the pattern. That is why he is a false God. The one who wants to become God, the one that said that we ascend above the throne of God so that he can become God. And since then, he has been self-acclaimed God. He already understands the patterns, and that pattern has been like that consistently. So the devil used the pattern of God to render man useless. So now it is by account of establishing covenant. What did they do? Several of our fathers, and even this generation, they enter into occultism, they go to shrine. Why the chief priest or native doctor is doing some incantation, they are passing generational covenant. So we say, I just go to the native doctor now, I didn't go again. I didn't have idol. Then you go and submitted yourself to the authority, to the custodians of the law of the Sabbath. So they put you into a covenant. So now, starting from you are now the first generation of that particular covenant. It's going to return to your fourth generation. That means your children will inherit it. Your children will inherit it. It will continue to your fourth generation. Just imagine when your children, the sin of you, their father, their mother, repeated and passed to the generation, and they are passing through hell because the enemy used these tactics, these strategies, to make man under subjection unto Satan. The devil used them. Even when things are about to happen, he will appear and say, no, not this one. This one is under my covenant. I have entered covenant with his father. Some generation, they were giving birth so well, very easy. Some of them, they even kill their children. So to give birth in that generation was nothing. That family was nothing. But they are not able to make money. they could not prosper. They went to a custodian of serpents, and they exchanged wealth with children. Say, what do we have the children for when we can't have wealth? Give us wealth and take the children. It become a pattern in that lineage. That is why so many of us, when you are not able to give birth, you find it difficult. You don't know that it's a generational curse. And some of the time, you come in a family, it happens too often in that family, but you see somehow, some people among that family, they break through. They still break through. You not think it's of two ways. It's either those ones went back to the same idol. You know, when we talk about idol, it's not a particular, it's a spirit. Because every spirit assigned to a generation follow them from generation to generation. So they can come a manipulation of different aspects. So until you go back to them, they will not tell them, okay, you want wealth. You need to bring a head of your loved one. It's another exchange now. They now take life and give you money. So that exchange continue. Now you now see in the family, others are poor, while a particular person are very rich. Something has happened. This one have gone there, and they submitted again, and exchanged to another covenant. So the suffer continue. So if a generation wake up and say, I'm a Christian, when one is in Christ Jesus, all things has passed away. There is nothing old that has passed away in this case. When you are a sinner, you are a liar, you are like your father, the devil. And the generation, no matter how you pray and you fast without revelation of what is happening to abort, you will stay in abject poverty. You will stay in sorrow and death.